So I'm trying to do I was trying to use the Wi-Fi from the winery. I think I'm live again now. I think I'm seeing it. The one and only I see you. If there's anybody still in here, please let me know and say hello so I can know if the Wi-Fi is working. What I was trying to do was a live broadcast remotely from this winery in Temecula near San Diego. And I was trying to use their Wi-Fi, and I don't think that worked. I think I'm now on a different Wi-Fi, but I can't tell exactly what's going on. So I'm going to make this brief. I was trying to just wanted to say hello to you guys remotely. This is somewhat of a celebration of my 1-year anniversary of the channel. I hit 1 million minutes yesterday, which is a big deal for me. Okay, Saeed, I see you. Thank you for saying hello. Hey, what's up, JC Smith Projects? Okay, thanks for joining the show. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I appreciate that. I really do. And you guys are a big part of the show too. That's why, okay, Mike, I am live. Without you guys participating in the live chat, it's not the same kind of show. So really, just talking to the screen for an hour, that's not the kind of show that I make. That's not what I want to do. The purpose of the channel originally was to give out the dispatch secrets that I've got and just share those. And then it kind of grew into talking to not only dispatchers and carriers, but then also into brokers, talking about technology. And then from there, we've grown to talking to actual shippers and customers. I had a guy, I missed a message. I saw that I had a YouTube private message, and I think YouTube's actually canceling that program because it just you don't see the messages, they get lost. But I had a private message from a few months ago, and this guy was wanting to know if he could get help moving a vehicle from Vegas up to the Northeast. And his broker, he mentioned the broker, I'm not going to mention the broker, but he mentioned a specific broker. He was having trouble moving the car. And that actually comes up a lot, is individual customers thinking that they can just call up a broker, get a car moved, pick the price, pick the time frame. You guys know it doesn't work that way. And that's one of the purposes of the channel, is to ultimately, I hope to not only help dispatchers, carriers, brokers, shippers, but actually the customers. Because it seems like, and I talk to dealerships all the time, continually customers don't understand the process. And how would they? Hey, what's up, JC? You've been there a few times. Getting back into car hauling, you bought a Kaufman 3-4 car. Okay, it's a 3 car, right? Maybe you can haul small, 4 small cars, but I would go with, stay at the 3 until you get more used to it. And actually, so I'm using this Streamlabs mobile app right now. So I was reading your live chat, and it went away, so I can't finish whatever sentence you had there. But that's cool. I like to help new car haulers. I'm now doing the private consultations on the side. So I'm dispatching, doing the consultations, and I'll say this too. I know, what business does a dispatcher sitting at a desk have to give to a new car hauler? And I'll tell you, I've learned, actually, I think the hard way, is that while I didn't originally have that information, by working with so many car haulers, I've learned a lot and kind of gathered the cream of the information, and I put it into the 20 Steps to Car Hauling, which is a blog post you can read at autotransportintel.com. And also, I don't know if you guys are watching the other YouTube truckers. There's a lot of information to get, but I heard recently, I know there was a upload, and it was a very passionate message about, just not feeling appreciated with the information, but you guys oftentimes don't feel appreciated as the worker. So I get that. And that's what this channel is about, is trying to help communicate the message that This is a tough industry, and people don't understand. There's a lot of misunderstanding. Actually, I had a phone call. You know, I didn't like it, but yesterday I had to talk to a broker and remind that broker that I don't specifically work for them. I'm not going to up to everybody's assumptions and expectations. You know, we got to understand each other. We got to be realistic about what's happening with a transport. Just because you want something to happen doesn't mean that's the way it's going to happen. And specifically, even if I estimate what's going to happen, I can't predict what actually happens. And that's one of the reasons why with the ELD it is so frustrating. You think you've got a plan, and you know you're out of hours. Your plan is over. You got to do something else. So we're going to just keep on talking about that. I like making videos about the dispatching. What else we got here? Okay, Dispatch Monkey, can you see me? I got a message. I don't know if it was on the other video. I think this live show has now been broken into a couple videos. So if you can see me, okay, I'll tell you what, I got a fly in my face, and I also got a notification up here in the corner that okay, so there's 11 people watching, so that's good. We're kind of getting back on track. Poor planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine. That's right. That was that the Uber driver 101? I got a YouTube notification that he had a new video. I hadn't seen it yet, and so I watched Uber driver 101 today for the first time. That was really cool. He was talking about how, you know, he was picking up a guy at a Walmart, and I mean, even though it's people, it seems like it's the same problems. He was picking up a guy at a Walmart, and he goes and meets the guy, and the guy at Walmart has bought 3 beach cruisers. Now, I don't know exactly what that is, but the problem is that he wanted to stuff 3 fully built beach cruisers into this guy's Uber, as opposed to his own van, which he knew would, you know, mess it up a little, and was upset that the Uber driver wouldn't just say yes. And the Uber driver said, no, I pick up people, I transport people to and from places. If you want to move some groceries, or maybe, you know, you bought a printer or something, that's something we can do. But if you want to mess up my vehicle, just because you don't want to mess up your own vehicle, that's not something I'm going to do. And I thought, man, that sounds just like auto transport, where, you know, people have these expectations. This dealership, and this is why I had to talk to the broker, the dealership was, I guess, ringing their phone off the hook and saying, you know, where's our car? You said Saturday. It had to be Saturday. Must be Saturday. Why isn't it Saturday? Saturday goes by. Now it's Monday. Now everyone's really angry and irritated. And meanwhile, the driver delivered, bicycles. Thank you. That makes more sense. There were bicycles. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, you're going to put those on a bike rack on the top of the vehicle. You're not going to stick 3 bikes in the back of the Uber. It's crazy. And so then the driver delivers to the dealership on Monday, and guess what? They thanked him. They said, "This is great. Thanks very much. You know, have a great day." A brand new BMW convertible. Yeah, I mean, you don't need to make everyone's life crazy. And what the broker went crazy. You know, why? What did the dealership didn't mind, so why is the broker going crazy? How can Uber be legal? How are they not bound? That's interesting. It's an interesting question. You know, what's interesting about Uber is that and actually I think it's important to talk about Uber, because in the future of transport, we're going to hear Uber more and more. We're going to hear Amazon. We're going to hear companies we haven't even heard of. We are going to hear Tesla, and some of the companies that we're talking about now, we're not going to talk about as much, which is going to be really interesting. Which, you know, some people think that this company is established, it's here, it's not going to change. Well, it is. Some of these things are going to change, and there is a lot of talk about different apps, different load boards, technologies, bills of lading, dashboards, TMS systems. There's a lot of talk. There's actually a lot more apps than I think we realized. So you don't have to be pigeonholed into an expensive option that you maybe you don't want. Maybe you don't want that option. Maybe there's a free option. Maybe there are better options. And we're going to find out. Uber's the U-ship of people transport. And you know what's interesting? Even UShip is working on improving their system. As a matter of fact, I got a phone call from UShip Logistics on Friday, I think it was. And I'm like, UShip Logistics, what's that? Well, we're going to hear more about it. UShip Logistics is going to try and move up in the world and improve interacting with UShip. And that's a great thing, because I know right now I don't book cars on UShip. In fact, I said, well, did you know that Montway built a business model out of, just picking off your load board? And I'm pretty sure that's a fact. I do believe I'll say it as an opinion, but I think we all know that that's the truth. And so why allow another company to piggyback on what you've already got? Why don't you just be the provider? So if you're a middleman right now, that's going to be a problem in the future, because the future is removing middlemen, actually removing middle people. It'll just be middle robots. So, which is actually why I say, when it comes to dispatching, I don't think you're going to remove all the dispatchers. Actually, I think that if you have autonomous vehicles and you have what would have been the driver in that vehicle, that driver is now the dispatcher, maybe even the broker. I'm not sure, but there's got to be a person somewhere. But the technologies and the providers are definitely changing. And so that was another goal of me, doing this experimental live show, as just another reminder and harbinger that we're in for a lot of change coming up. Are they finally going to require the numbers and proof of appropriate insurance for all the carriers? Right, that's another good question. That is a good question. I mean, how does Uber get around, but they do have documentation. And, they don't actually provide any transport other than people. And I'm sure that I would assume the taxi company providers have already been through all of this, and whatever roadblocks they couldn't put in place, those roadblocks are probably gone, because I know there were cities, even like Kansas City, that didn't want Uber, and it looked like it wasn't going to happen, and it did happen. I mean, Uber and Lyft are both in Kansas City. I think in many other cities that thought it wasn't going to happen. So, if you cross through some of these barriers, then you're on your way to the beginning of a bigger successful business model. Oh, you meant for UShip? Well, yeah. I mean, UShip Logistics, assuming, this is a big company we're talking about, and if they've got the money to build out the investment, etc., then they're going to be able to break through those hurdles. It's the smaller companies, as we know, that have a much harder time getting through legal barriers or just growth, funding, revenue and profit models, and all the expenses that go with it. I mean, that's why, and it kind of brings it home, that's why we talk about owner-operators, right? The individual owner-operators. The individual owner-operators are the ones that have a harder time getting into the real success and growth because of all the expenses. And so, that's where I think that, if any help I could be, I want to be help, and I also want to help remind those that are standing in the way that, someone's going to try to help figure out and get around that, whether you're an expensive accessory and that becomes a hindrance, or whether it's a legal problem, whether it's construction zones. I know that John from Paladin Enterprises wants to continue a much broader conversation about what's going on with all the construction zones, and isn't there something legally? Isn't there some kind of Kickstarter or other kind of situation? What am I trying to think of? Where you go out and get signatures. What's the word? Petition. Thank you, Kimberly. So, a petition to get construction zones to either actually progress and do what they say they're going to do, or make them go away. So, in the legal areas, within the technology areas, within the expenses, any company that can help improve an area for the individual owner-operator is going to get attention. And those are the companies that I want to talk to, that I want to have on this show, and that I want to be a part of bringing that information to the forefront on the YouTube channel, on the Facebook page, whether it's, you know, remote live. Hey, someone's having a good time over there. This is a winery anyways. But, you know, and that's the thing about social media. That's why I just did a show about social media. You guys want to use social media to your advantage to network and improve your business. And already, I was just talking to someone else about YouTube channels, and I know there's some of the other YouTubers out there that, you know, I'm already talking to, and that's that amazing what we can achieve with just YouTube videos. That 5 years ago, that didn't exist. I know when I started making videos 25 plus years ago, those things didn't exist, those distribution channels. But now those distribution channels have opened up a new level of getting out information. Just like all the cable channels, you're not stuck with just a few networks, which, if you are a part of one of those few networks, over time you see your market penetration, profitability, and audience dropping. And that's a great thing. That's the democracy of information. And that's, you know, I'm celebrating the fact that the democracy of information has greatly helped my channel and what I'm talking about and who I'm talking to. So I'm going to wrap this up. Let's see. I heard Amazon's advertisement to help small trucking companies to get start car hauling for Amazon with the $10,000. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, JC. And thank you for being so involved in the chat. It's really helping me out right now because I'm like a fish out of water. You know, when you travel to a new city or you do something different, you're not used to it. Yeah, I shared a link a couple days ago that Amazon is looking for drivers or carriers or something like that to submit applications to become independent third-party carriers for you know, their shipping, which is a lot. I mean, that's a lot. There's a lot of shipping out there. Sounds like a lot of opportunity. And as I say in my blog post, 20 steps to start car hauling, is that you want a specialized niche. You definitely want to define and find and then grow in a niche. And if that niche is hauling for Amazon, that's great. That sounds like a good niche. And I want to hear more about, I want some feedback on what it's like signing up, going through that process. In fact, I talked to one car hauler that is going to help keep me up to date. I want updates on, you know, new opportunities like that, new technologies, and I want updates on some of these newer load boards that are coming up, and the relationships that are growing out of them. So that's a really good question, JC. I appreciate that. So you guys, if anybody has anything else, and I know there's some viewers here, if you guys have anything to add, you know, that's cool. If you don't, I think it's probably time to, yeah, I don't know if I think I could drink this. Can I drink this? Cheers. I could drink this. So this is a rosé. I'm at Miramont Winery in Temecula, and I was here yesterday. It's beautiful. This is a beautiful winery, incredible wine, and the atmosphere is amazing. You know, we're up on top of like a bluff, or I don't know, a hill, or, you know, what you want to call it, but it's beautiful up here, and I wanted to share that view with you guys as I move into what's going to be my second year of auto transport intel and the car hauling dispatcher. Specialized is the money. That's why I thought the coffin with the trailer towing options. Oh, nice. Hauling cargo trailers out and cars is back in. That's very interesting. You know, and that's what's interesting about talk. Thank you, JC, for participating. It really helps. Talking to the freight haulers, it's interesting. I think freight haulers are very happy being in freight, and I think car haulers are very happy being in car hauling. So when I talk to hotshot, you know, that mix, that gray area in the middle, it seems that a hotshot car hauler might lean towards odd freight and then use cars to fill in, but I'm still looking forward to hearing more from hotshot car haulers, dispatchers, and brokers. So, you know, if you want to come on the show, you know you can. You can send me an email to autotransportintel@gmail.com. I really want to hear from you. I'm getting at least an email a day, and I love it. And It's all over the place as far as requests, ideas, information, dealer, broker, shipper, dispatcher, customer. It runs the gamut. So keep sending me those emails. Keep tuning into my videos on YouTube. I appreciate it. I appreciate the likes, the comments, the shares, and when people subscribe. It's great. And yeah, it's just going to keep growing. So if anybody else has any other questions, I think it's time for me to get the ELD Kool-Aid that I deserve and that we all deserve, right? We all deserve a break and a vacation. We work hard, and we're really trying to do the best we can by the business we've got. And I mean, I know that's true because I'm in touch with you guys, and you're in touch with me. And this is a really cool community, and we want to keep it that way. So if there's a squeaky wheel, we're going to give it some grease and try and figure out how to improve whatever that problem is. And if you're a company and you think you can help improve the ecosystem, I want to hear from you. I want to have you on the show. I want to interview you, talk with you, and learn from you. Cargo trailers average $2 per mile. I'll drop at one location. I know. And that's the thing too, and I've told that to some of the freight haulers I talked to. You know, bumping docks was way better, right, than picking up all around the city. If you're lucky, it's all the same city, and then the risk involved. But you know, it's different. I think it's just different lifestyles, different knowledge bases. Obviously, we can't all do the same thing, and it's a good thing we don't. So, you know, I mean, there's that. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy your 4th of July as much as I am, you know, here at the winery. I mean, this is the way to go. So if you're in Cali, give me a shout out. Thank you so much, and you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for your patience with the hiccup and the Wi-Fi and the breakup of the live stream, and I'll see you on the next video. I'll be back next Tuesday night. Oh, it's good. It's a rosé. It's a lighter red. More of a summertime, fruity. It's pretty good. What are you talking about? All right, you guys. ELD Kool-Aid coming out. I'll see you guys next show. Please comment below. Thanks for your time. You have a great day. Peace out. Bye, guys. That's a peace. Enjoy your holiday, JC. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating. I really appreciate it. Take care. Okay.
How's everything going, guys?
Great. Thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt. It looks like
no, not at all. I actually got the show off.
I did want to come around and give everybody a heads up. The gates usually close around 7 o'clock, 7:05, so I just want to give everybody a heads up. All
right.
You guys enjoy your wine.
Thank you for
we'll
that.
See you guys next time. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Great winery. Thank you. Thank you.
So you're done with mine.
That's probably a better setting than down below.
That's why I wanted that. Yeah, it came out great at one time, which is really.
You probably had more.